wasn't much structure or consciousness in the development of what the next move was going to be. You were playing checkers the whole time and never playing chess. And so you end up with this monstrosity of a life and you have no idea where it came from. How did I end up in this job? Well, I took the job because I needed some extra money, and next thing you know, they asked me to move to California. Then I moved to California. Then I met a girl, and so I got her pregnant, and now I got the kids. I'm married to the girl, and I had this job for 25 years. At that time, I didn't expect to have this job for 25 years. How many times? Give me a yes. How many of you have ever heard people say something like that? Like literally, put a yes in the chat if you've seen this or had this experience where you start something and you have no expectation that it's gonna be a 20-year, 30-year thing. You just did it because it fit for the moment. You dated that person because they fit for the moment, right? You made that move to California because it fit for the moment. Because I couldn't pay the rent that month, they gave me an extra $500, but they said you got to move to California because the job will pay you an extra $10 an hour. Whatever it is, right? It's always these little things. And I'm gonna tell you, I said, I'll be damned. I started thinking about this a lot. This was the benefit of being a loner. I ain't had no friends in college. I had like one or two, but that was it. Everybody knew me and I knew them, but I had always had this little bubble where I just didn't really connect directly with people. It's probably some weird mental illness or something. But anyway, I remember thinking like, this is interesting. People don't think about their lives. They don't think about how every step fits into the big picture, and if you don't do that, then you can end up with a train wreck because you're making a series of short-term decisions that put you in that where you create this long-term conundrum that's like very confusing for you. Why is that part of the conversation today? Why am I even discussing this? Well, because wealth and investing and everything else is exactly the same way. It's the exact same way. Think about it. I want you to write down on a piece of paper, and we're going to get back to Arthur Jones, the brother who died, because I promise you that that's the starting point. But I really want to make a bigger point. Even though his life, I mean, it's very unfortunate, and it's a very it's a significant issue for him and his family. But also I want to make the bigger point that fits into what we do every day. Um, I want you to one day sit down and make yourself very depressed. This is a very depressing exercise. I want you to try to see if you can calculate how much income you've had over the last like 15 years. Like I want you to write down, like if you make 60,000 a year, I want you to take 60 and then guess your average income over the last 10 or 15 years and multiply that, right? And look at how much money you've made over the last 10 or 15 years. And then after you see how much money you've made over the last 10 or 15 years, I want you to imagine something like okay, so how much money would I have if I had invested 10% of that money, just 10% of that income, right? So let's say you make 60,000 a year and you make an average of 60,000 a year over say a 20-year period. And 10% of 60,000 is $6,000. And let's say you invested $6,000 a year, which is about $500 a month, and you did that over that 20-year period. You lived your life, but you were very conscious about like, okay, this is where I want to be financially 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now. Um, if you did that $500 a month, as you know, with our 5-year pledge, you roughly, if you put it in the S&P 500, no investing knowledge. Let's say you just threw it in there and just threw it into a mutual fund, right? That's it. You didn't even think about it. After about 5 years, you'd have about 38,000. After 10 years, you had about somewhere around 100,000. After 20 years, it'd be over $300,000, right? So you'd have $300,000 liquid in some account somewhere, and maybe some property or whatever it is, right?